Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just under 5 months away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one interesting aspect of Episode 9 is the fact that they will be adding in many different characters, one of which that a lot of fans, including myself, am really looking forward to, is of course the new villain, also known as the Dark Acolyte, that will be portrayed by Matt Smith in this film in the second and third acts of this movie, that's really going to be used as a way to bring in new elements of Darth Sidious / Palpatine. Now, what's really intriguing about all of this is that these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, a description of both Kylo Ren and the new villain in a standoff in the middle of a torrential rainstorm, where it's explained that both Kylo and the new villain are in a heated argument about the philosophy of the dark side, where it's explained that the Dark Acolyte is giving a lecture to Kylo Ren about a power far greater than the dark side itself. It said that the Dark Acolyte, who is under Palpatine's control, tries to convince Kylo Ren to join him to discover this new power together, since the secret to fully embrace this power is that it requires two powerful Force users to utilize their power to contain this power from within. It's described that this moment parallels the scene in which Vader tries to turn Luke in Empire Strikes Back, where in this sequence the Dark Acolyte reveals that this power is greater than the dark side, was created by a fallen will, and that the powers are godlike and irresistible. While this happens, it's said that Kylo becomes conflicted while Rey is knocked unconscious in the background from Palpatine's Force lightning before. The sequence is described to be very dramatic, where it will leave the audience on the edge of their seats, wondering about Kylo's decision. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is going to really offer new elements and aspects to the Star Wars franchise that we have never seen before on the big screen. And by far, I think that one of the big pieces of hype of this movie has all to do with the new villain. The fact that we are not only getting a 2-on-1 saber duel, but we're also getting a brand new villain that will be connected to Sidious. Now, what I like so much about this is that this new villain is said to reveal a big secret about a power far greater than the dark side itself that is said to have been created by a fallen will, which by the way is a god-like being. Now, the wills are godlike beings, but one of which was considered to be a fallen will, essentially one that used their powers for either evil or for use of creating, a great divide between the Jedi and the Sith in the galaxy. And what I love so much about this is that they really are borrowing elements from mythology and using that as their own advantage into introducing this into Star Wars Episode 9. So, with that being said, we do know that this film is going to offer a lot of different characters, one of which the Dark Acolyte. Now, the Dark Acolyte is said to be portrayed by Matt Smith, where he has a lot of scenes with Kylo Ren in the third and second act of Episode 9. He's controlled by the Sith spirit of Sidious and even transforms into Palpatine, mostly at least, at a certain point in time in this movie, which is where he uses his new lightsaber blade in Episode 9. So this power is said to actually be godlike, according to the Dark Acolyte. And about the Dark Acolyte and Kylo scene, it's said to parallel the Vader and Luke scene from Empire Strikes Back, where Vader is trying to convince Luke to turn, where in this scenario, the Dark Acolyte is trying to convince Kylo to turn to a power that is greater than the dark side. Now, the fact that JJ is trying to create a new medium of Star Wars, a new power level, if you will, I'm not quite sure how fans are really going to agree with this, or how it's going to resonate with fans. It may seem a little bit too out there for some people out there around the world. I think that when you look at Star Wars, when it's really just made simple and basic, where you have the dark, the light, good, and evil, where this new power is said to be godlike, that's a very interesting thing. The fact that Sidious / the Dark Acolyte has a great interest in this power, and how one of the big secrets is that in order to really obtain this power to its maximum potential, it needs and requires two dark side users that are very powerful through the ways of the Force in order to accomplish this. So you can really see why Palpatine is trying to turn Kylo Ren to a power that is even greater than the dark side itself. It really is a big deal for fans around the world to witness such an event happening. So with that being said, this movie really is going to offer many different experiences between the Dark Acolyte and Kylo Ren, and what Kylo Ren is going to do within the third act all, pretty much rests on Palpatine's manipulation techniques, and of course, Rey and her relationship with Kylo Ren, and how that's all going to evolve in this movie. The last thing I just want to touch on is that this is all said to take place near the Death Star 2 wreckage, while Rey is said to be unconscious from Palpatine's Force lightning technique against Rey at a certain point in time in the third act. Anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.